Good morning, my Teaserking family. How's everybody today? I am fine. Back still sore, but we're working on it. Seems to be getting a little better. A little painful now sitting like this, but we'll be okay. I got a pillow down. So today's finally the Super Bowl. I think that's ridiculous. This week off in between, I don't really get it. Um, maybe before, but now there's too much to do. You don't really, what are you going to do? It's not needed. Okay, it helped Mahomes maybe, so it helps maybe a few players, but all right. The spread, Eagles 1.5 everywhere, 1, 2.5, whatever this SI is. And the total is basically 50.5, 51. That's it. So really no movement in the game. Let's see if there's any new injuries. Maybe Chocolate Eclair's playing. NFL injuries. All right, let's see. Now it's easy to go through this list. There's only two teams to look at. Snead, the cornerback who hurt his neck tackling the big gorilla from Cincinnati last week. It's probable. Smith-Schuster, probable. Gay, the linebacker, probable. Hardman, IR with the pelvis. Tony playing. Chocolate Eclair, questionable. Fortson, questionable. Watson, the wide receiver, probable. Pacheco, running back with the wrist, probable. McKinnon, running back with an ankle, probable. Smith, an offensive lineman, probable. Mahomes, probable. I don't even know why he's on the list. So the only really player they're missing is going to be Hardman, which I don't know if that's a big loss. And they get Snead back, which will help. Although supposedly his concussion looked like he broke his neck trying to tackle the guy. Mixon, I think. He was huge. I didn't realize how big he was. He's huge. Philadelphia, we've got the center, Juergens, probable. The tackle, Johnson, probable. The cornerback, probable. Defensive end, probable. Guard, probable. Another guard out with the suspension. A tackle was out for the other game, this IR, and that's about it. Otherwise, I can't name names. I have no idea. So 1.5, 50.5 is what I'm seeing. Hey, Eric, need a lock teaser? I don't have a lock teaser for you, but I can give you a good bet today. It's not a lock. So breaking it down, I watched the Kansas City, San Francisco Super Bowl, which I thought was about the same thing. 49ers had this great defense like Philadelphia. Kansas City's Kansas City. The only difference was whatchamacallit was there. Hill was there. He's gone. You got Schuster and Valdez-Scantling instead. How did they beat the Niners? Well, first of all, Shanahan beat himself again. Secondly, I mean, it's 20-10 Frisco. They can't move on them. Now, again, Kansas City doesn't have a running attack, but what I noticed is Mahomes runs a lot. So he kind of gets out of the pocket, right? He's in the pocket. He kind of gets out of the pocket and scrambles. Almost like what Joe Montana did in 1981 when they won the Super Bowl. They didn't have a running attack. They had Bill Ring. I don't think he could have made the Ohio State team, Bill Ring. So what Montana did was these little short passes as runs, little swings out of the backfield, hit the tight end. That was their running game. And that's exactly what KC did against San Francisco was little swing passes and a lot of Mahomes' little runs. He'd break the pocket and he'd get 3-4 yards and he'd get a first down. Then he kept the drive moving. And then he hit Hill on the long pass. And it's 20-10. It goes 2017, and then Shanahan chokes, starts throwing the ball with Garoppolo. Garoppolo can't hit the side of a barn. Doesn't run Deebo Samuel like he should. And, and then it's next thing you know, it's 24-20, and then they get the long run with a minute and a half left. But with that said, they handled Frisco, which is the same as playing Philly with the same team. Andy Reid, Mahomes, Kelsey was there. Kelsey caught a couple of touchdowns. If the Niners couldn't guard Kelsey, Philadelphia's not going to guard Kelsey. And that's really the key that I kind of stumbled on, because I like to look at matchups, prior matchups, right? That's the best way to figure out what's going to happen today. How the hell did they do against San Francisco 2 years ago or 3 years, whenever they played them, and how they beat them? And basically, yeah, Frisco should have run more. Samuel should have got the ball more. So Shanahan, again, he choked with Atlanta with the big lead. He doesn't know how to run the ball. And the same thing here. He doesn't know how to run the ball, and they lose a Super Bowl that they should have won easily. So 20-10. But Mahomes was able to move on that defense. Will be able to move today. And that, to me, is the key to the game. So I really like the Kansas City now more. I'm actually going to change my 31-30 pick to now Kansas City 30. Let's go 11-24. I'm going to go. I'm changing 27-24 Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins this game. Again, it's not like they don't play defense. They play Denver twice a year. I'm talking KC, and they beat the Niners. They beat them this year. They killed the Niners this year before Brock Purdy. So against this type of defense, they're fine. I mean, it's a lot of little find the open spots. Kelsey, wherever, go to the open spots. It doesn't matter who's playing defense. It could be the 75 Steelers. They'd still be able to muck the ball down the field. I don't think KC, I don't think Philly can stop them, which makes it a high-scoring game. And Hurts, I don't know. Hurts he's played in 2 big games. He got benched again in Alabama's game when Tagovailoa came out, and then playing for Oklahoma, he got killed by Joe Burrow. So I don't know. Hurts is a big game quarterback, or is he another Trevor Lawrence who chokes in the big games? This we'll see. But I'm giving KC the edge now. I think they win. The line is 1.5. I'm not seeing the line go. So I'm liking KC as the dog. I did some history. I went back 5 years on my trends as far as KC as a dog. They're very rarely a dog. They're 2-0 as a dog the last 3 years. And then probably Mahomes' first year, they were 6-1 as a 3-0 as a home dog, 3-1 as a road dog. So it might not have been Mahomes in 19. I don't remember. But they're 6-1 as a dog. Philly's a good road favorite this year. They're 7-0. But when you look at the schedule, they didn't play anybody. Hey, Ryan. KC and over. Yeah, I love it. I think that when you get a Super Bowl like this, you take the points. And Mahomes has been there twice. Hurts, as I'm saying, is a joke, really. When you look at Philly's schedule, they didn't play anybody, and the best team they beat was probably and then Green Bay wasn't even a great team, but they beat a team like a Mahomes 40-33. So this is like Alabama. Philadelphia is sort of like Alabama. They beat a lot of shitty teams, and you think, wow, they're great. Then they get up against an LSU who's not even that great, or a Tennessee, and they beat them, and you go, oh, how did that happen? They're Alabama. Alabama looks good beating Arkansas States and New Mexico States and Ole Miss and, crappy teams. So when you get Philadelphia and you go, well, let's see, they played the Giants, who don't have a quarterback, and they played basically Dallas. They beat with Cooper Rush, and then they lost with Prescott, and they didn't have their quarterback. And then what did they get? So the Giants twice, Washington, they lost once too, who sucked. And they're out of schedule. They're out of conference was Indy, and they played the Indy, Jacksonville, Houston, and Tennessee conference. So you had Indy, Tennessee, and they're Indy, Jacksonville, and Houston, two of the worst teams in football. Well, they're not underrated. They play San Diego twice. Oakland is a good offense. They played San Francisco. They played Buffalo. They played Cincinnati twice. So if we break down those games, they lost 24-20 to Buffalo at Buffalo. Oh, no, maybe it was at KC. They lost 27-24 to Cincinnati they beat Cincinnati. What was it last week? 23-20. I mean, you beat Joe fucking Burrow, So that's, even though Cincinnati had some offensive line problems, and KC, their strength is more going against the pass than going against the run. So we're going to look for Philadelphia to run it down their throat today, which I'm sure they'll be able to do, but Spagnuolo will put in some run blitzes, which will leave the passing, which is why we'll get points. Hurts is not very accurate. Yeah, he's a little better than Lamar, but he's not a great quarterback. But when you look at who KC played, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and all, they didn't get blown out. And KC, or last week, 43 against Cincy, but Cincy's got a strong defense. And then against Jacksonville, that's a 47. Here we're only looking for a 44, which I think is nothing. I mean, Philly's got a good offense. They've got a balanced offense. But like I said, Kansas City's run's going to be Mahomes running the ball. He's not hurt. He's just playing WWE. He's, like I said, he's Ric Flair pretending he's hurt, but he ain't hurt. Nobody runs out of bounds like that on a bad ankle. Sorry. Excuse me. Anyway, so when you look at schedules, KC had a much harder schedule. I mean, 2 San Diegos, 2 Oaklands, 2 Denvers, and then Kansas City and Cincinnati. And, they beat Jacksonville, who's not that good. But when you look at Philly's schedule, they didn't play anybody. I mean, Green Bay 40-33, Dallas 40-34. Where's their defense? He doesn't show up against a good quarterback. And I'm not saying Prescott's a good quarterback, but the best quarterback they played was Aaron Rodgers. He put up 33 points on him. And then their other schedule was Green Bay, Minnesota, the Lions, and the Bears. So what is that? I mean, the Bears have no offense. The Lions, that was the first week, had a decent offense, and then and Rodgers lit them up, and Cousins 24/7. He didn't show. He forgot the game was on Sunday, is what Kirk Cousins does. One of the biggest chokes in the game next to Jared Goff, and we'll see. But never being to the Super Bowl is huge. The pressure under Hurts. I'll be shocked if the game's close at the end, Hurts drives them down to win. I'll be shocked. I think that you're looking of the game. If it's close, KC wins it. That's how I look at it. Didn't Washington? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But they're still not a good team, right? It was Heineke. So Heineke's lighting up. But that's, to my point, exactly right. We think Philly's got this great defense, 31 to Washington, 33 to Green Bay, and 40 to Prescott. Prescott, he sucks. So, and the rest was Daniel Jones and the Giants, and then that Week 18 bullshit when he played the the Jarvis Webb or whoever, the 4th-string Giant quarterback played, and it was 22-16. So Philly, again, this is like the bad schedule. Then they get in the playoffs where they get the Giants, Daniel Jones. So they beat a no quarterback. And then the game that we're all waiting for is to see is Frisco, and Purdy gets hurt. So you can't, there's no judge of Philly. And if you get caught into this, look at them in the playoffs at home. They beat the Giants. They beat the Niners without a quarterback and you think they're good, that's the problem. And you're discounting Mahomes. I will take Mahomes as a dog. All right. I did watch the highlights of the Tampa KC Super Bowl, and it was really Tom Brady just lit them up, right? They were up 21-6 at half. They were holding in the field, but when you looked at that defense at Tampa, I mean, they had everybody healthy there. What is it? Murphy Bunting and Winfield Jr. and all the Larry David and White, and the other linebacker who's been out. So, I mean, that was a huge defense that they played, better than Philly, but they got Tom Brady. So Tom Brady lit them up. You don't got Tom Brady here. And they've seen running attacks. I mean, Atlanta was a pretty good running team this year. So I'm not going to give Philly a lot of credit. Kyle Orton. Yeah, no, I don't know if he could have made the Purdue team, Henneke. He didn't go to a Big Ten school. So yeah, I mean that's what you have. I mean, I wanted Philly as the dog at first, but after watching that San Francisco Super Bowl, you can't really watch Philly Philly New England Super Bowl and get anything out of it. It was a whole different team. They had a much better quarterback and a different coach. And, I think their weak point is Hurts. Is he even healthy? Who knows? They're not at home. And you're making them a road favorite to Mahomes. Like I said, Mahomes just beat Burrow. It doesn't matter the game's at home. They're comfortable at the Super Bowl now. This is the Super Bowl. This is the third one for Mahomes. I don't know if he'll come back because I think Burrow is going to be there for the next few years. Josh Allen's missed his time. Buffalo's all done, I think. But I think it's KC, Cincinnati. Well, it's just Joe Burrow, right? He's just too tough. San Diego needs a new coach, which they didn't get. And then Oakland needs a new coach, which they didn't get. If they get Rodgers, Oakland might be in the Super Bowl next year with Aaron Rodgers, with Devontae Adams and Rodgers. That's a possibility. We'll see. I mean, it's Andy Reid being Andy Reid. We get to the championship game, we get to the Super Bowl, and we lose. 6 times with Philly? And if he loses this one, it'll be 5 times with Kansas City. Yet somebody thinks he's a good coach. So judging based on the matchup, I'm changing my score to 27-24 Kansas City. Maybe they get to the 30s. Philly's good defense, but it doesn't show up here, right? Against Mahomes, like I said, against the Niners, he just ran out of the pocket. This was Joey Bosa's rookie year, and the linebackers' rookie year. They had just great defense, the Niners, at least as good as the Philly defense, and KC really just rolled them. So, 27-24 KC. Take KC. Take the over. It's still an over because we live in teaser world, so we're over that. Ryan, I think the big playoff wins are making Eagles a favorite, but you played Daniel Jones, who should be a backup, and yeah, that's what I said. Well, that's my point. That's why you have to dig into it. You've got to look at the why. That's what I'm trying to teach more than anything. Something happens. Why did it happen? Why did Philly? Oh, wait, they're at home and they played both. Now, had they beat Purdy and the normal Niner team, and I don't think they would have, that would have been a different story. But, Purdy, I can't believe Purdy. See, Purdy, he's got to see the blitz. He should never, that should never have happened. Should have known the blitz was coming and gotten away from it, or dumped the ball quicker or changed to a run or something. But he shouldn't have got caught where his hands like this, and then the guy comes in, and it's a shame. But that was basically if he stays healthy, he was 4 for 4 for 40 yards. He wasn't having a problem. He's very good. You had the weapons, Samuel, Kittle. You had McCaffrey. That was going to be a good game. So we really don't know who Philly is yet. Had they beat the Niners full strength, then I'd be on Philly. But again, so it's really weird because you don't know really the true Philadelphia team. They had a very weak schedule. That's why I never really jumped on them. In fact, I had them against New Orleans to clinch, and they lost. So I'm not buying Philadelphia at this point. Certainly not after these playoff games. I'm not buying them. So definitely I'm going to go with Mahomes. He's not hurt. Him and Kelsey will find weaknesses. Everybody's playing, of course. Super Bowl question is, are they playing 5 snaps or are they playing the whole game? Now, Mahomes, I'm not worried about. I hear a guy, I don't know if his ankle will stay. I'm betting the game under. And this is why I don't listen to those idiots. His ankle's fine. He played a whole game against Cincinnati. They put up 23 against the better defense. Cincinnati had a very good defense. So in my mind, this is clearly they're not going to get blown out. The line, I don't know if it moves. People are saying, well, it's going to move to Philly -2. I haven't seen. I think I might have saw Philly -2 once. Now it's back. Every casino is 1.5. Well, at least the one on scores and odds, and that's about 7 casinos. If I'm Mahomes, I'm telling Andy Reid, I'm the best quarterback in the league. Let's spread them out and let me do what I do. Well, I think that's exactly what he's doing. I don't think he needs to tell Andy Reid anything. I don't know if he listens to Andy Reid. He'll hit Kelsey, and then if you take Kelsey away, he's got Smith-Schuster and Valdez-Scantling, and then he's got Pacheco to run it a little bit. But KC's not going to run the ball. The way they run it's Mahomes. He's going to run out of the pocket, run for a few yards. That's what he's just enough to get the first down. But he showed you on that run out of bounds and the dive play that he's fine, right? That was 2 weeks ago. So if anybody will be more prepared, it'll be KC with Mahomes. He's been there. Hurts every time he's been in a big game is choked. And he's not a good quarterback. I was thinking about this morning. It's like, why do you want a quarterback who can't throw the ball? So I just don't understand. Again, another let's have a running quarterback. Hurts can't hit the broadside of a barn. He's a little better. Now here's the big thing now is we'll bring in all these receivers to help the quarterback. Well, Tom Brady never had receivers. He had Randy Moss one year. Otherwise, he never had receivers. He didn't need receivers to be Tom Brady's. And Joe Montana certainly, he had Dwight Clark in the beginning, not Jerry Rice, till 85. So he was fine with Freddie Solomon and Dwight Clark. He didn't have superstars. Dwight Clark was very good, but he wasn't a star. He wasn't like a Jerry Rice or Michael Irvin or anybody. So that's the thing. So we got to do that. But I think KC, you handled Cincinnati and Burrow, although I think the game should have went to overtime. And then we'll see. I mean, that's what it should have been. It should have been an overtime game. I think Burrow wins it in overtime if he gets the ball. But we'll see. But that's for next year. But right now, I don't think that Hurts is the weak spot of the game here. He is no Joe Burrow, obviously. And, I don't know what their plan is and what they're going to do, run the ball. So I think KC will come up against the run and force Hurts to beat him, basically. And Hurts can't beat him. So that's how I look at it anyway. I think there'll be points, like I said, 27, 24, 30, 27. I think it'll be a close game and probably in the upper 50s. So definitely the over should come in. And the dog, I mean, I don't see how that doesn't win. I really don't see how Kansas City doesn't win. The more I look at it. Against the number Philly was a good teaser bet this year, but again, they played nobody. KC was a bet against, but mostly because they're at home laying 10 and 12 and 13, and they win by 3 and 6, and they don't cover the big lines. But here you got them as a dog, and they're very rarely a dog. When you get a team that's favored all the time and they're a dog, they weren't even a dog to KC last week. They weren't a dog against Buffalo. When they lost to Cincinnati, they lost to Cincinnati 27-24. At Cincinnati, they were the favorite. So I forgot. So they played Cincinnati twice in Buffalo, and Philadelphia is not better than Cincinnati. I am sorry. And they played them very close. 27-24 Cincy, and then 23-20 KC beats them. So that's my measurement, right? You fucking beat Cincinnati 1-1, and you lost to Buffalo 24-20. And if you notice, they weren't 40-point games. But in this case, I think Philly's defense, when they played good passing teams, they haven't shown up. And Kansas City's defense is a little bit weaker. Philly's balanced. I think Philly can they'll definitely be in the 20s, which makes this 44 and over, right? You're definitely going to get probably a 50-point game, upper 50s. So I'm not worried about the over, but I think it's the dog. I think that's it. I mean, it's very – when you look at the schedule, it's Kansas City. And that's what you got to do is look at why they won or not. That's what I did with Georgia TCU. I took that TCU-Oklahoma game, and I watched that one. And TCU, man, they put up 50 points on Oklahoma. And you're like, but the way they did it, I mean, the quarterback dug in. He was fast. He went around the end. He did a lot. It was a lot like Oregon with Bo Nix, where the quarterback was running a lot, but he was a very accurate quarterback. And the same thing with Duggan, was a very good quarterback, but they lit you up. I mean, that's when I caught TCU was beating Oklahoma. I said, okay, this is a team I'm betting. I won with them every week. It was, if they played like a Texas Tech, it was over. When they played Kansas State, I took them as a dog, and I took the games over, and I won every week with TCU, and I won every week with Kansas over, except for I was a good boy, and I took them against Iowa State because I know Iowa State with the killer defense doesn't score. So I took Kansas as the dog. But that's what you're looking for is the matchups and the whys. So when Kansas plays Oklahoma good or Texas good and then TCU, Georgia, they started giving up points to LSU. They gave off 50 points. It was like an 80-point game. I'm like, this is Georgia. They did kill Tennessee, which we had. And then against LSU was a high-scoring one. And then it was high-scoring in the championship game. No, that was LSU, the championship game. And then they get a high-scoring game against Ohio State. So when they come against TCU, and I know TCU scores a bunch, and I know Georgia scored a bunch on Ohio State, so I take the game over based on looking at what's happened and looking at the matchup. So you try to understand the game, not just blindly go, oh, Philadelphia beat San Francisco. Yeah, without their quarterback. I mean, hello. You can't ignore – you got to look at the picture, what happened in the game. And once you understand that, then you go, oh, okay. So they really didn't beat a good Niner team. They beat John Johnson or whoever. So today I definitely Kansas City's not going to get blown out. No, I like Kansas City as a dog. I was going to bet another had Kansas City gone favorite, I would have bet Philly as the dog. Again, being a little too influenced by the San Francisco game that they were able to run and score a lot, saying, oh, they'll probably score. And I was mad that KC got the bad the call roughing the quarterback, which was a joke. It was a dive. And you don't determine the outcome of the game with a bad call. Now, I was watching the San Francisco Kansas City Super Bowl, right? And what happens? Garoppolo steps out of bounds. They knock him down. No penalty. I was laughing. Oh wait, where's the roughing the quarterback here? This is a fucking Super Bowl. They didn't call roughing the quarterback, and it was clear. It was the same play. It was even worse because he was just touching out of bounds, and the guy really like decked him. It wasn't like the other guy just touched Mahomes. And no penalties were called. It was a joke. But again, Shanahan, worst coach. But I did notice that Kansas City had a few plays where they got the benefit from the refs. So I can see if the game is fixed, as we all are thinking, it'll be KC will get the fix because it's Mahomes. They want Mahomes. They don't Jalen Hurts. They don't give a shit about Jalen Hurts. They don't give a shit about Philly, but they do. It's Andy Reid. Poor guy's lost 22 championship games. Let's give him one. And then Mahomes, they want to be the star until Burrow takes over. So I think that's what you have. So I'm going to call 27-24, 30-24 Kansas City. Over, of course. So it's over, and the dog is the play. I think Garoppolo is a top 5 quarterback in the league through 3 quarters. Yeah. Well, I think Shanahan is a good coach through 3 quarters also. Shanahan, he blew the Atlanta game, and he was the OC for Atlanta. And what part of that would make you hire the guy, right? I mean, he choked at the end. He even watching the game, the Frisco KC Super Bowl, it's the same thing. They get an interception late. They're up 20-10. What does he do? Instead of running Deebo Samuels, he starts throwing passes that are incomplete, that aren't stopping. It's like, where's your offense? If you are going to pass, you should at least – there should be like a receiver within 10 yards of the pass. I mean, he threw one pass. There was nobody there. I'm surprised he didn't get called for grounding. He doesn't know how to coach. You use your stars. You should have ran Deebo Samuels against the weak Kansas City rush defense. Doesn't do it. Doesn't get first downs. Can't get anything like that. And this is what happens. So, he's really a problem. But Garoppolo was never any good. I didn't understand why they thought he was good. He didn't do anything in New England. So I'm still confused. And did somebody pick up Garoppolo? Did he get traded with New Orleans or Atlanta or somebody? But anyway, so he's nothing. He's not. I don't know what you look at and think he's good. And then you got, and he's always injured. He's not. I'd rather go get Trask from Tampa Bay, to tell you the truth. Poor guy. Now he's got a shitty coach, shitty offensive coordinator. So I don't know what Trask is going to do, but he's a good one if you ever fucking play the guy. But we'll see now that Brady's gone. Everybody thinks Tampa needs a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. They got one. Trask from Florida. So everybody forgets him, right? And they're all into this Richardson guy who sucks. So I don't understand that at all. Let's see what's going on here. Sorry, guys. That's what you got. You've these guys have no eye for talent. But I don't know what's going on in college. Like Rising's playing another year. He hurt his knee. I hope he's okay. Van Dyke, just terrible coach. And then Hartman went to Notre Dame. Why is he not coming out? So I'll have to take a look at who's coming out, which quarterbacks. Not a big Alabama guy. Ohio State, again, Fields is so great, takes him number 2, and the guy sucks. You've got to get a quarterback who can throw. I don't understand this whole logic that he's a running quarterback, so that's going to make him better than the passing quarterback. This I don't understand. A quarterback's supposed to throw the ball to the receivers and hand the ball off and maybe get a little bit of running yards. A Mahomes, a Drew Brees, a Brady, a Rodgers. That's what you're looking for in a quarterback, not this running like a Lamar Jackson who runs, but he can't hit the broadside of a barn. Hurts is the same way. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. If Philly needs to drive down the field to score with 2 minutes left in the game, they're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. You see Rodgers is going on this retreat for a week or so to figure out what he wants to do. I think he's a great quarterback, but he is such a drama queen. I think he is staying in Green Bay. I'm in Wisconsin. I think if he doesn't stay in Green Bay, he goes to Oakland. But I think he goes wherever he can get more money. And then he's got to be going, well, the Oakland coach sucks too, but he gets to play with Devontae Adams, but they don't have defense. He'd be really going into a shitstorm at Oakland. He should go to either Baltimore or Pittsburgh is really where he should go. He would make the difference. They don't have a quarterback either, and they have pretty good defenses. Baltimore doesn't have a coach. Pittsburgh, I like Tomlin, but he's okay. He at least wins with the shit he's got. But that's where, if I was Rodgers, I would go to Baltimore or Pittsburgh. Maybe Tennessee. You get Henry, you can just hand the ball off to him 30 times a game. But I don't know. What is he going to do in Green Bay? But, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, he's familiar with it. He probably gets more money at Green Bay, so that's what I'm thinking. But, yeah, what was I doing? I don't know. There was something I wanted to say. Anyway, so I think that's the game. 27-24 KC now. Take the dog, take the over. That's your play. As far as these props, will Mahomes throw for 294? Who the fuck knows? What is it with the money line? Why do people – it's a 1-point game. Why do you need the money line? The odds suck. You really think this is going to be – Philly's going to win by 1 and you need to cover it? I don't see the odds are better if you took Kansas City plus 1.5 than money line. I don't think there's any. Well, they're probably a dog, but I don't see the. Let's just say the favorite. I wouldn't play Philly money line. I would just lay the 1.5. Come on, they're not going to win by 1. What the fuck? KC maybe, but I think this is where the teaser's the best play. You get 7.5 and 50.5. And as I said, I went to MGM Friday night for poker, and I go to the sports book, and the girl was just a total idiot. I go, "What's your juice? What's your juice on the football bet?" Well, I don't know. Give me the bet. I don't want to waste my time. It's a 2-second answer. Our juice on a teaser is 130. That's it. That's all you got to say. The conversation's over. I walk away. So I've got to give her the bet, give her the amount, and then she types it in, and then I see it's 130 to win 100, and I'm like, it's 13-10. I'm like, what the fuck? You couldn't just tell me that? You had to waste 5 minutes of my time loading up the bet. Did you think I was going to bet the game at your fucking odds of 13-10? Are you out of your mind? This is a 2-team teaser. The odds should never be more than 11-10, just because I gotta pick 2 winners. I gotta pick 2 winners to win. That should not be 13-10. That should be at most 11-10, and it probably should still be even money. But that shows you how scared they are of teasers, or it's just they're all fucked up. What else was I thinking? So basically, you look at the history, look at KC. It's all Mahomes. He's just going to dink and dunk. He's going to run out of the pocket for 5 yards. They will move on Philly. It's not like Johnson. Purdy was moving on him. Philly can look good, but, that's against the Giants. Not against a real quarterback, which they didn't play. It's amazing how weak their schedule was this year, that you can't find 2 good quarterbacks they played. And I'm not sure how good Aaron Rodgers was at the time they played him. But let's say he was okay. So, again, this week off between the games is really a joke. I mean, I'm bored already. I was like, yeah, the game's on at 6:30. Okay, I'll watch it. Otherwise, it's almost like you don't care anymore. It's almost like, what's the 2-week wait for? I'm losing it. There's too much to do now. I'm losing interest. I went and played poker Friday night. You got other sports. I'm watching old Super Bowls. I mean, it's like, what are we waiting 2 weeks for? All right, well, one guy, Mahomes, had a hurt ankle, but he really wasn't. And that's like the only guy that probably benefited from the 2-week rest. That's it. And why are you giving 2-week rest? It's too boring. So it's like you forget the game's on. It's like, oh, that's 6:30. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. It's not as exciting as it used to be when you had a good Steeler team or Montana or the Bears or the Cowboys. I mean, it's not a big deal right now. So we'll talk about the draft once I see who's in the fucking draft. We'll look at that. Poker was good, as I said. I won. Let's see. I noticed most employees at casinos know nothing about the department they're working in, not all, but a good amount of the employees. It's better than college. They're off almost a month. That's extremely crazy. Well, your first comment, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, this girl, she really didn't know what the odds. She had to actually punch it in, and I says, well, I want to win 100. So she puts in 100, and I was going to get paid like $79. I says, no, I want to win 100. And then she put in 130. She knew to put in 130, right? 130 to win 100. So she knew what the odds were all the time, but she didn't tell me. And I don't know if she thinks I'm going to make the bet and I'm stupid and I don't look at odds and whatever you give me, I'm going to take. I wanted to bet the game there just to have it, and I'll go play poker and, go down and collect, but I'm not laying 130 to win 100. I mean, I just assume we'll play poker where I don't have the odds like that. So poker, I did well. I think I played very well. I didn't get involved too badly. If somebody really raised me and I was adequate, I just folded. Nothing major. I just made good bets. I mean, if I had aces and the flop comes, I bet 25. I didn't slow play them, and I was winning. I won a lot of hands. I got cards. I won a lot of hands. So I was happy with that. I got up like $50-$60. Again, it's 1-2, but I was at a table where there was no $100 bets. It was a lot of 15s. So it's a tighter table, so you're not going to win as much. But it was okay. I was happy. I gave it a chance. I was up like 50-something. I win 27. Fine. I don't care. I'm there to win. I won. I'm happy. My confidence is good. I can go back next week and play. And okay, I'm a winner. And that's really such a psychological effect. It's the same thing with football. When I have a good week, and I can pick games. And when I have a bad week, I'm like, you start doubting yourself going, fuck. I mean, how did that lose? How did I miss that one? And you just, you lose a little confidence. That's the thing. But I think I was happy I won, and otherwise, yeah. I mean, it was that was it. I watched the little basketball, but I can't even get into that. I can't name 5 players. I was in the sports book teasing. Where's the Pistons around? Go, where's Isaiah? Where's Rodman? Who is this guy? Some idiot. They have the worst team. Terrible coach, terrible GM, just terrible. I did a thing yesterday that I don't know, not a lot of people watched at this point. Was I called it capitalism as one of my things. And so I'm talking to a guy in the pool, and he tells me he's a communist. And I'm like, who the fuck would who the fuck would want to be one, and who the fuck would be like, I'm a communist? And I says, well, why don't you go move to fucking Russia or Cuba? And did you like Stalin? I mean, are you a Stalin fan? Did you enjoy Hitler? I mean, what the fuck who would want to be? I said, I'm for freedom. And then you start blaming capitalism as the reason of the country because of these, what do they call it? Like economic warfare, like between the rich and the poor. I don't, whatever they call it. And I just said, no, that's not what's happening. That's not what capitalism is. It's free market. I mean, that's what I'm teaching. It's all, we're free to do what we want. And it's about competition. I mean, in the bluntest word, it's me and you competing. That's what it is. And then there's substitutable goods. So if you don't want to go to this restaurant, you go to that one. If you don't want to go to this market, you go to that one. And they compete. And that's why Oreos are $4 here and $3 there. They're competing with each other, and we win because they're competing, because the market is setting prices and competition. And in communism, you don't have that, or fascism, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's controlled by the government. They set the price. My girlfriend's in Russia sitting there going, well, the government raised price on milk and eggs. I mean, it wasn't like the grocery store. So the grocery store, it's like Canada, where liquor is going to be X amount. That's socialism. That's what communism is, basically government controlled pricing. They don't let the market control the prices. Therefore, there's no competition. Therefore, there's no substitutable goods. Therefore, we're fucked. So I'm looking at the guy, and it's like he's arguing with me. I'm like, dude, Bernie, he's a Joe Stalin. Let's put it that way. If Joe is at the pool, he'd be talking to him. The funny part is he's like proud of it. Like, oh, I read Marx. And I'm like, and then I love when they bring up, because I'll say, well, I got a master's, I teach economics. And they'll like say something like this whole, like his theory on Marx is that the worker needs to be in control of the money or something. Like you can't have the CFO make all the money, it's the workers. And he says the CFO doesn't care. He just wants to make all the money, or the CEO or the president, whoever runs the company. And that should be in the workers' hands. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean the workers' hands? I said, that's all divisional labor. You get your skill. You want to be a finance guy? You want to be an engineer? You want to be a computer guy? You want to work at McDonald's? You're going to get paid whatever. That's what the business pays you. That's what the market does. They determine, I'm a financial analyst, I make $100,000. You're an IT guy, you make $120,000. You're an engineer, you make $150,000. You work at McDonald's, you make $15 an hour. That's what you do. You do what your skill is, but you have the ability to choose your skill and go do it and go get a degree in it and then go get paid for it. That's America. You don't have that in Russia and Cuba and these guys. The communists tell you what to do. What do you think? Hitler ran everything. There was no competition, no substitute. And if he didn't like you, he killed you. Is that what you want to live in? I mean, come on, man. The problem is, even talking to the guy, you really couldn't, he wouldn't listen. He couldn't explain. And then he's like, oh, you're an economist. You don't even know, like what communism is. I says, yes, it's when the government controls the market, not the free market. But he doesn't understand that concept. All he knew was he read Karl Marx, and he knew about the worker, like something about the workers. And he didn't know what it was, but he just knew about that. And I said, okay, fine. I don't read Karl Marx. I'm not a communist. I believe in freedom. So what the fuck are you talking about? And then they always are trying to get you on something that, like, when I was at the bank and the guy brings up elasticity, and I go, that's a Keynesian word. I don't pay attention. I don't care what it is. It's something with a rubber band, but I don't know, and it doesn't mean anything to me. That's not you're missing the whole point. And they try to like, aha, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what elasticity is. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It doesn't matter. It's not in my world. I'm an Austrian. We don't talk like that. I don't care to. It doesn't. I think what they're trying to say with that bullshit is if you need gas for your car, you're going to pay whatever you need. I think that's what inelastic means. Or say again, I don't know. Elastic. So they bring in the rubber band, but I don't know which is which. So I don't know if elastic is you'll pay whatever for gas or that's inelastic. I think inelastic is Coca-Cola goes to $3 a 2-liter and you don't buy it. I think that's inelastic, but it doesn't matter. We cover it all in the market. The market dictates. So I cover it this way. The market says Coke's $1.59, Coke goes to $3. Nobody buys it. That's in effect elastic and inelastic, but I don't call it like that because it's very confusing. I just say, here's the market. So I do it this way, which is a much better way that everybody understands what the fuck I'm talking about, including me. But I love when these people try to get them, and then I go, I'm an INFJ. I don't give a fuck what you say. You are not empowering. You do not have power over me, so I am not going to listen. I don't care. Then he made a comment. I says, do you have any gold? And he says, no. I says, well, it's collapsing. And it's collapsing very, very soon. If you watch my videos, I put up, I think it was Friday. I watched another one yesterday from the same guy. And it's like, we got a month at the most. And then shit hits the fan. And Putin's coming out with gold back. And the dollar is gone. Nobody wants it. And it's happening real, real soon. So buy your gold and silver very, very soon. But the point was, he says, no, I guess I'll just go down with everybody else. I go, well, why would you want to go down? Why wouldn't you want to go at least buy some silver and protect yourself? And he can't even answer the question, or, and then he made a comment, well, you're a stranger. And I'm like, how many people do you know? What are you talking about? I'm a stranger. So you don't listen to strangers. You only have to listen to what? Your family? I mean, that was the stupidest argument. I'm like, you're a communist. So have you met Karl Marx? You read his stuff. Have you met him? Is he your buddy? You go to have dinner with him Friday night, which is impossible. The guy's dead. So I'm saying, well, he's a stranger. You read his stuff, but I'm a stranger, so you don't listen to me. Oh, now I'm getting the perspective of the communist Keynesians. You're a stranger, so we don't listen to you. Don't listen to me. I don't know who you listen to then, because you don't know anybody. You don't know your wife. You don't know your kids. They're all strangers. They all hide stuff. They all keep stuff. If you're lucky, you get somebody who really trusts you, who opens up, and you really know. But I don't think you ever really know anybody. There's always something that you don't know about people, and you try to get it from them, and you try to get as open and honest. But I don't think you really ever know anybody. So how are you going to listen to anybody then? So you go to school. So you go to college, right? You go to Harvard, and what do? Go out and meet your teachers for dinner, and then you're all friends, and then you can learn from them. I mean, that was like the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, you're a stranger. Oh, okay. Do I not make sense? Or you just don't want to listen to me because you're proud you're a communist and you read Karl Marx. I've never, who the fuck would read it? What is the point? Joe Stalin murdered what? I don't know how many millions of people in World War II. That's communism. It's Hitler murdered what? Between the two of them, murdered 10 million people. That's communism, fascism. It's government-run shit. We want competition, free to choose, free to substitute. Stakes get too much, we go to something else. That's what capitalism is. It's freedom, but well, I'm blaming capitalism for the problems. Well, okay, you can, but it's not. That's not what it is. So anyway, if I see him today, I'm just gonna. Being my personality, I probably won't even look at him. I'm at the point in my personality. If you start fucking with me, I just forget it. I don't have time for it. I don't want to listen to it. I'm not going to get in an argument. I'm just going to ignore it. You don't exist to me. That's it. Only people like that. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, people that are that inconsiderate and that rude. I don't have anything to do with them. So let's see, Ryan. When people say they want communism, I don't think they have any idea what they would be getting themselves into. That's why I say Russia and Cuba. That's what communism is, or a dictator like Hitler. Is this? Do you think it was better that way? And then you want to blame the U.S. on class warfare. I don't even know what that is. Yes, people make money. People make a lot of money. Some people don't make any money. Well, if you didn't go to college and you're working at McDonald's, are you going to make $600,000 a year? I mean, look at LeBron James. I mean, he gets paid for his skill. And Bobby, of course. I don't think Bobby made that kind of money. But if you have a skill that pays you, you get paid for it. That's capitalism, right? It's not the government saying, LeBron, you can only make $10,000. That's all we're going to let you make. That's communism. Is that what you want, or you want freedom? So capitalism's freedom. That's why the U.S. has succeeded since 1776. Is we have been capitalistic, laissez-faire, Adam Smith. That's how we were brought up, and now it's almost like the Hobbit, right? You have all this gold, and it brings a dragon, and the dragon takes it, and that's basically what you have. We got so successful that all the dragons came, and we'll call them Keynesians and liberals and communists and the Joe Bidens and all those idiots. And that's what you get when you start getting all this wealth. It attracts the dragons, and that's also the Chinese, and they come and want to steal your gold. But that's what capitalism does. And if you look at all the powers of the world, from the Romans to the Spain to Amsterdam to France to England, it was all the same. They had capitalism. They had gold. They got number one. They spent all their gold, went to war, and they inflated their dollars. The dragons came, and then they went down. And then here comes the U.S., and the dragons are here. We're inflating. We're getting gold. We're fucked. And that's basically it. So my guy yesterday on his show, I'll show you what this show is. It's as good as Gold Australia. He sits there and he says, all these guys are saying this, and he's saying it's all rubbish. Our inflation's not going down. Our debt's huge. Nobody wants the dollar. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can find it. Right here, Alistair McLeod. Watch this one. We got 4 weeks left, maybe. And it's very good. He fucking nails it. As good as Gold Australia. And it just came on yesterday. And this guy, he breaks it fucking down. Here you go. World dumps dollars for gold. Nobody wants the dollar anymore. So the way he explains it is he says nobody wants dollars. And what'll happen is when the Americans realize it, we realize it. I'm telling you, we understand this is shit, right? We're in the gold and silver because this is going to zero. We understand it, but we're nothing, right? We're what, maybe 100 people that get it and go, fuck, we need gold and silver. You got 350 million Americans and most of these Mexican guys coming up and all these other people that don't get it. They think everything's fine, like this guy at the pool. Oh, no, I guess I'll go down with it. So you're telling me that you're this stupid that if I'm telling you there's a tidal wave a mile away and we're on the ocean, you're just going to ignore it? well, I guess I'll go down with you're not going to try to save yourself. This is what communism is. We're for the people. We're a bunch of morons. So again, not believing me, which insults me, which I don't like. So it's like, okay, fine, that's fine. You can do what you want, but that's what's coming. So once people realize it, they're going to not want this. They're going to get rid of this if they can find gold and silver. And I'm saying you can't wait too long. You're not going to find it. So get rid of it now. But there's 80 countries now not wanting the dollar. And Russia and China have the gold. And as I just said, from Rome to Amsterdam to Spain to France to England, what happened? They all had the gold. They all were the lead currency. They're all number ones. And then the shit hit the fan, and then they were all broke. And, so the key is gold, right? You have gold. It's because you can't print it. And the dragons, the dragons will come in the Hobbit, but basically it's the wealth, right? So you can print paper to zero is not good, right? So now that Russia and China came for the gold and got it, guess who the dragon is? Russia and China. And guess what they do? They set the rules. They are the number ones. Now you either learn how to speak Russian or China, or go get a Russian or Chinese girlfriend who can speak it for you. Otherwise, you're fucked because we're not going to be there anymore. We're the American. We're too big to fail. We got J.P. Morgan. We got all the losers on our side. J.P. Morgan and Fink and this guy running Vanguard and Bill Gates. I mean, we got all the losers. So we have to be very careful and learn who to listen to and who not to listen to. But yeah, I mean, we're fucked. I mean, but you got to get out of it. See, the only reason I'm pushing it is because if you don't get out of it now, you're not going to find it later. And if you do find it, it's going to be at such a high cost, you're not going to be able to afford it. Maybe you buy 1/10 of an ounce of gold instead of an ounce of gold because gold's at 50,000. Well, our gold's never been that high, all the bullshit, all the excuses. And I said, well, the Russians and Chinese want the price of gold to go up. It's going up. That's what they want. And you can see, if you watch this guy's video, you'll see that that's what he's trying to do. Anyway, so dealing with the communists, I've never met anybody. It's like, yeah, I kill people for a living. Like, okay, leave me alone, please. So I won't have a conversation with this guy again. If I see him, I might just say, how you doing? And not, if he comes in and approaches me, I'll just say, I don't really, he approached me to talk. He knew my background because I tell people to buy gold. They all look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, okay, fine, don't. So I stopped talking. And now he knows it, and he brings up capitalism. So he took a shot at me, which I'm man enough to say, okay, fine. That's your best shot. You read communism and Marx. Okay. So if I see him, I might say, how you doing? No intent of talking to him. If he approaches me and say, look, I really don't have anything to say to you. I don't like communism. It kills a lot of people. And if that's what you're into, I'll stay away. But that'll be it. But anyway, my back's a little sore. I can take the ibuprofens, but I don't want to get too dependent on those. And then I've been taking this, which I don't know if it works or not. It's kind of it's kind of higher in my back. So I don't know what it is. It's more in my midsection of my back than anything, but it doesn't move around. That's when you know you have an appendix problem, is when the pain moves. I'm not throwing up. I'm not sick. I don't have a fever. So I do believe it's some back pain, but it's just been a bitch getting rid of it. But it seems okay. I can drive, and it does affect me to walk until it loosens up. And I can't stand too much. I got to sit. Sitting kind of is okay. It must pop it back in. But when I stand up, sometimes it's okay. And then when I walk, when I first get up, the first 5 or 6 steps hurt. But it's just there, and I'm just hoping to get rid of it. Anyway, so that's that. Poker, gold, buy your gold very soon. Maybe you win today, you buy some gold. So I hope that answered your question, Eric. It's Kansas City and the over, which is what I've been saying all week. And now I even like Kansas City more as the dog. So it's 1:00. Let's see if the line has moved. So let's see. Refresh. It's still 1.5 all the way around. Nothing. Well, there's a 2.5, but mostly 1.5. And the total is still 50.5, 51. So not a lot of line movement, not a lot of betting on this game. And I don't blame it. It's a very hard game to pick because Philly didn't play Frisco. So you really don't know. You don't really know how good they are. Try to stay away from the prop bets. I mean, who the fuck knows what color Gatorade and how long the national anthem goes? How do you even make that as a bet? I mean, the singer can make a big bet on it and make it go longer. I would think if I bet that, I'd bet over because the singer can easily make it go longer. And tell her sister, hey, go to Vegas, bet the over on this, and I'll make sure I sing an extra couple of seconds, and we'll win. I mean, that's the stupidest bet prop I've ever seen. But be careful on that. Who the fuck knows? You don't know who's going to get injured or not injured, and you don't know what the way the game's going. If you get pick sixes, there's more running involved, right? Because you get quick touchdowns, and now I'm just going to run. I'm going to run the clock out. So you don't know you don't know the make of how they score, and then you can't tell the injury. So you're going to bet on a guy in football and bet and hope. I'm betting over on Mahomes and hope he doesn't. Well, I don't want to use that, but you're betting over on Jalen Hurts' passing yards, and then he gets hurt. Or you're betting him to run. What if he doesn't run? What if they take the run away? He's going to run, give it to the running backs. So I don't know. But just be careful. And you always want to ask the why question. So you never want to just blindly look at Philly beating the Giants, Philly beating Frisco with the backup quarterback and just go, oh, well, that's what's going to happen. So really we're kind of taught, and the only way to really pick the game is to really look at the over, is to look at the history. I don't know any other way of picking this game but saying KC beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. They beat Cincinnati. They played Buffalo top. They haven't gotten killed. And here we can tease them plus 7.5. I think that's the only way you can try to handicap, but it's a lot like everything else. Trying to pick a stock, you're trying to look forward. What kind of earnings are they going to have? What kind of sales they're going to have? Who's the competition? What's the market? And those are the things you can look at in a stock or gold. We think gold's going up because the value of the dollar is dropping because they're inflating it and nobody wants it and all the money's going to pour in. That's going to cause more inflation and nobody will want the dollar. And therefore, gold will go up because it's priced in dollars. And then it'll be gold will be the money. So we can kind of ascertain certain things that we kind of can translate into what will happen. But that's about all we can do because we don't know. We know gold's going up. We don't know when, but we have an idea of why, and we think it's close. Football, again, They've been to 2 Super Bowls with Mahomes. He did get blown out by Tampa, but I think he was injured there, and I think he's not injured today. And I just think he got Hurts, not Brady. Brady blew him out, but Garoppolo choked, and now here's Hurts who chokes. He's not Joe Montana. There's a reason he left Alabama for Oklahoma. Couldn't beat out Tagovailoa, who basically sucks anyway. So I don't see where Hurts is all that good. They do have a balanced offense. He will score a little, but at this point, let's see him. Now, you go ahead and beat Mahomes. You put up 40 points, and it's all you, and you're throwing it. You're actually completing passes, and then we'll change our view. But right now, it's the same view I have as Trevor Lawrence. He sucks. He throws interceptions, Dak Prescott. But that's what I'm looking for, a totally different thing than the guy hitting a wide open receiver for 10 yards going, oh, look, what a great quarterback. And it's really hard to watch what these announce. Oh, we got fucking Troy Aikman today. Oh, my God. I'll probably have to turn the sound down. Can't listen to him. Wow, is he terrible. Anyway, what else? What do we want to talk about? Anybody? Anything, gentlemen? It's 1:16. The game's 6:30. Got my Chinese food yesterday. General Chow, and I think it's Szechuan chicken with a lot of veggies, and it's pretty good. I told her, I says, well, one's Saturday's dinner, but then that's my Super Bowl dinner because they're not open today. Otherwise, I would have just went today and got General Chow, but they're not open on Sundays. It's your day off. She's packed. She's very crowded, very good food, very healthy. I've been going to her for 30 years at least. I went before my kids were born. That's when I started going. It was in the 80s. Anyway, it's a very good Chinese restaurant. But they're closed on Sundays. But she's always, they're 3 p.m. There's 5 people waiting, call-ins. It's a carry-out place, but since she had a restaurant, everybody knows her. It's great. So highly recommend it. Anyway, I think that's about it. So last time, Kansas City 27, Philly 24, and over the 50.5. So it's an over game. It's a dog game. That's how I view it. I'm red hot in the playoffs. I just missed the Tampa game, and I missed Buffalo in a fixed game with Miami winning 34-31 against Skylar Thompson. I mean, see, that's all you can do, right? Skylar Thompson stinks. Buffalo blow them out at home. It's a playoff game. And Buffalo scores 34, but Josh Allen throws, 2-3 interceptions. And before you know it, it's a game with Skylar Thompson, right? They made him look good. Unbelievable. So since he got him good, 27-10. Since he's the team on the rise, Joe Burrow, if you're going to a card show, if Mahomes wins, now you start buying Mahomes cards. Right. You wait about a month or two. Well, we got to see all this chaos, but you want real assets in this inflationary time. Don't listen to the government. That was one of the things the guy said on his show, on his video yesterday, is just ignore the government statistics. They're trying to get reelected, so they want to make them look good. So if you believe them, then they did their job. But you shouldn't believe them because they're all bullshit makeup, just like gold price. You believe the gold price because COMEX says so. What the fuck? Which has been my argument the whole time is you can't believe COMEX. It's not real. It's fantasy. So when I tell you to buy gold, that it's very much lower than the real price, you have to understand the reason. And that's why I try to tell you it's kept down for some reason. I don't know. If I have a monopoly on JP Morgan has a monopoly on this, so they don't want competition. So it all comes back to Austrian economics. I don't want competition, and JP Morgan has always been for monopolies and never competition because they don't know how to compete. So they'd rather do illegal stuff than compete properly. So he has a monopoly on a dollar. Why is JP Morgan the one printing the fucking dollars is beyond me. They own the Federal Reserve. So the point is, why, that's why gold's low is he wants the monopoly on that. So you can't have a monopoly on zero, right? So if nobody wants this, there has no value. A monopoly on this is meaningless because it doesn't have value. So that's my point. So if you understand all that, you realize gold's going to go up. And if you understand the BRICS countries coming out with dollars backed by gold and Russia and China with all the gold, wanting the gold price to go up, then it's not hard to understand why it'll go up. Hey, Nick. What do you mean 3130? Where did Mick come from? Who's Mick? I don't understand, Nick. You took the Eagles 3130. What does that mean? Plus, you actually picked the score? So you're allowed to actually pick the score of the game, 3130? Oh, good luck on that. Where did Mick come from? Where did Mick.com from? Exact. Oh, okay. So you went to this Mick.com exact score bet. So I hope you put like $1 on it. I'll give you one more score if you want. Take KC 27-24. I watched the San Francisco game yesterday and I said, KC's not going to have a problem. The 31-30 is probably pretty close. This 27-24 KC, I think KC wins it after watching that. But that's a pretty good bet. One thing I know is it'll be close. But I don't think Hurts, at the end of the game, if you need Hurts to win it for you, you're not getting it, right? If you need Mahomes to score for you, he'll take the dive. He'll get you the field goal and that. Hey, Phil, they greased all the poles in Philly. Yeah. Well, let's see. Mahomes, we know his ankle's fine. How many Ric Flairs is Mahomes going to do where he's going to, I'm hurt, and he's going to limp around, and then he's going to go back to pass, and there's the limps, and he won't remember to limp, and he'll run for 20 yards. Oh, wait, I'm hurt. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to go down. That's the second score I'm going with, Nick, is 27-24 Kansas City. After watching the KC Frisco Super Bowl, KC couldn't run there either, and Frisco's defense, Bosa was a rookie, and he was able to kind of just get out of the pocket and run for 5 yards. I think he'll do that. That's their running game. So I think he does that again, and if they can do that to Frisco with Bosa, they're just as good a defense, if not better, than Philadelphia's. And as we look, there was no team Philadelphia played that was any good. The best team that was against Rodgers in Green Bay, 40-33, and he lost to Prescott 40-34. And they're not playing Daniel Jones, and they're not playing the fourth-string quarterback of the Niners today. So I'm not sure how strong Philly's defense is, but I think Kansas City wins the game. I've come to that conclusion after watching the Niners KC game that they've been here before. They beat the Niners. They'll do it again. The Tampa game was different. Brady kind of took it over, and that Tampa defense was incredible. So not concerned there. And it was a good matchup because they had just beaten Breeze. They beat Rodgers. So they seen Mahomes was not a big deal, but Philly hasn't seen a good quarterback. What a schedule they played. They played absolutely nobody. I mean, they played the Indy Jacksonville division. They played the Lions, Green Bay, Minnesota division, and the Bears, and then the Giants 3 times, Washington twice, and Dallas twice. I mean, Jesus Christ, what a schedule. Unbelievable. See, next year they'll have to play the Niners, and they'll have to play better teams. It's like the Lions. People think, they'll be in the playoffs next year. I go, no, they got the hard schedule next year. They win when they got the soft schedule, which they had this year. Next year, they're going to have to play the Niners and Philadelphia, and I don't know, hopefully the Kansas Cities, and we'll see who they got. But normally they will go 5-11 next year because they'll have the tougher schedule. They're 5-12, but that's what it is. So I got a good hunch on Kansas City. I think if the game's fourth quarter game, KC wins it with Mahomes. I don't see Hurts driving him down to get the winning touchdown. That's the problem. And I think Philly's going to run the ball, but when you get down by 21, I think you're going to have to pass. And I don't think Hurts is going to get you there. So I love the teaser. I like it more. I almost bet it again. But yeah, it's a real, after watching that, I really like the teaser. So I don't know. I can make it whatever I made it. I can make it 30 units, but it doesn't, we're already in at what, 25, 27 units. So I don't, I'm not going to just, but it's the same bet. The line hasn't moved. So I could just raise it, but you got the hint of it. So there's no point, but I love it more now after watching that. In Philly now, going to be crazy for the game. Well, enjoy it. Go to a card show. There's got to be card shows around. So now, Nick, you bet you go get Mahomes cards if he wins. Right now, he's won 2 Super Bowls and lost the third. Now you go buy your Mahomes card. I only got one Mahomes card, which is the 50 count one that I got from some sports store like Dick's or something. And I got it for $50, a 50 count. What a steal that is. And it's looks like it's in great condition. So that's the type of card you want to get. But yeah, go get some of his rookies. But if he wins, and you might not want to buy it today. You might want to wait a week or two. And then with all the shit in the market, we might see gold really go through the roof soon. Well, there you go. Go to the Philly card show. Now, if Philly wins, you don't want to buy any Philly players because they'll mark the prices up. That's where you get your Burrow card or your Mahomes cards at the Philly card show because especially Mahomes, if he beats them, then you really want to go get Mahomes at the Philly card show because nobody will want him. But there's really no Philly player to get. Who are you going to get? Jalen Hurts? If he loses? I don't know. I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. I saw cards with 1 ounce silver in them at the card show. Well, I got the coins. I got the Highland Mint coins. I can show you. I'll show you tomorrow. So those are like Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice, and their face is on the coin, and it's 1 ounce silver. And I bought them for like $15 in the 90s when Highland Mint came out. And when I check on eBay, they're all $50, $60, $75. Jordan's $100, Kobe Bryant's $125. And they are an ounce of silver, and they say they're an ounce of silver. So it's not, you have that certificate, this little card that came with, and it's like a jewelry box. You open it up, the certificate's there. It says it's 1 ounce of silver, and then you pull out the coin, which is in a plastic. And basically, that's the proof that it is 1 ounce of silver and everything. So, you just go after the stars. I went Emmett and Montana and Marino and Lemieux. I don't think there was Gretzky in it. I got a Bobby Orr, and then it was Barry, Emmett, Rice, Montana, Elway. You just got all the stars, and they all have a good value. They're all worth more than this $15 I paid for them. But I wasn't going to get silver. I have 37 of those. I have 37 ounces of silver in sports coins. And I wasn't going to get any more. And then I keep doing my studying going, fuck, it's 25. I bought 10 coins Friday, or Thursday, I think, $25 an ounce. Are you fucking kidding me? And now it's going to be priced in gold, and gold's going through the roof. And the question all you need to do to confirm it is all the central banks are buying gold. Russia's got 15,000 tons and China's got 40,000 tons. So if you're questioning, should I buy gold? I just look. Of course I should. Of course you want to buy it. Why are they buying it? You think Putin's an idiot? He's crazy, but he's not an idiot. And China and all the central banks in Europe and Asia are buying gold. So why? And even your JP Morgan buddy who does this whole derivative bullshit has 300 tons of gold. 3 tons of gold? No, I think he has 300 tons of it. A lot of money. So, I mean, don't kid yourself. this is going to shit and you want gold and silver. And again, stop worrying about, well, it hasn't gone up, because it's about to. And I gave you 20 reasons, but stop. Like, it's like saying, well, it's hard to say, but it's like saying, well, Cincinnati's never won the Super Bowl. Yeah, but now they got Joe Burrow. Now they're going to win the Super Bowl because they have Joe Burrow, where before they didn't have him. So there's always that thing that now turns the switch. So you can't say, well, Cincinnati will never win any, because now you got Joe Burrow and Chase, and they get some more LSU guys on it, and then grab some defensive guys, and all of a sudden Cincinnati should have beat KC and been in this Super Bowl. They'd have been in two back-to-back Super Bowls. The difference is Cincinnati wins this Super Bowl if they're in it, because they got a good run defense. That's what I was frustrated about it. Cincinnati Philly Super Bowl, since he wins it. And it was a little frustrating, but that's the same thing. Gold will never go up. Well, Joe Burrow is now the reason gold's going up, right? Russia, China are going to a gold-backed currency. Gold has to go up, period. And because nobody wants the U.S. currency, because they're fucking sanctioning people and higher interest rates causing this. It costs more. So you've got reasons why gold's going up, like you have reasons why Cincinnati's going to win a Super Bowl in the next few years is Joe fucking Burrow. That's you have to understand that. You can't go, well, Cincinnati's never won, they're not going to win. They never had Joe Burrow before. Gold never hasn't gone up. Well, because they've been keeping it down. But now the U.S. is no longer control. And here comes Russia and China. So that's why it's going to go up. Joe Burrow's. So you can't just say it's never happened, so it won't. You've got to look at the reasons why it's changing. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Super Bowl, Russia, China, gold-backed dollar, which they've never had. Price of gold goes through the roof. So it's always, you've got to understand the reason, and you got to be in depth, and you got to keep looking, going, okay, yeah, that makes sense now. I mean, why did the Rams win a Super Bowl? They had Stafford. They never won a Super Bowl before. They trade for Stafford. They win a Super Bowl. Why did the Niners never win one? Because they got Shanahan, the chokiest coach in the world. How do you not have a backup quarterback for Purdy? Why is Purdy's in there? Because you've already lost two quarterbacks. Here's Purdy, and this is your backup quarterback. Is Johnson really? The guy can't even take a snap from center. So again, that's Shanahan's problem or Lynch's problem. But again, that's why they don't win. They need Montana. They need Harbaugh back. Something. Phil, Rams won many Super Bowls with Warner. They won one. Not many. They won one. They lost to the Rams. Hayden lost that one to the Steelers. Or it wasn't even Hayden. They did win the one with Warner. I was just trying to make a point. Like, they got Stafford, and then they won the Super Bowl. So a change happened. But, yeah, Warner won one. He should have won for Arizona. Same thing there. Arizona never won a Super Bowl. Warner comes. They go, and they should have beat Pittsburgh. He doesn't throw that stupid interception. If he runs it in instead of throwing that 99-yard interception return at the half, Arizona wins. So, again, but that's my point. If you have that, what changes that all of a sudden the team's good, right? All of a sudden they win a Super Bowl. So Cincinnati wins because Burrow. That's why they haven't won in 40 years. Why are they going to win now? Because something has changed. It's not the same. You can only use that argument if it's the same. So the derivative market by JP Morgan with all these fake contracts where they're not even selling gold keeps the price of gold down. Well, it's blown up. So what was holding it down is now gone. And here comes the other reasons why it'll go up. So you can't go, well, it hasn't gone up. Why will it go up now? You can't use that argument in a lot of cases. And that's what I warn you against picking football games is what's changed. Oh, they got Burrow. Oh, they got, not that I'm a Josh Allen fan, but why won't Dallas win? They got Prescott. I mean, until they get rid of them, they won't win. And it all goes back to pretty much the quarterback and the coach. San Diego's got a great quarterback. They got a shitty coach. They got to get a new coach. Seattle's got Coach Pete, but they don't have a defense. So there's always you're trying to look at all the Seattle won because they had the Legion of Boom. They don't have them anymore. They're trying to but they see that's how you win is the Legion of Boom, not Russell Wilson and not the receivers. They won with weak receivers and Russell Wilson and the incredible defense. So that's what you're looking for, is that formula. But that's what you got to look at. So any other questions on the game? I mean, I see Mahomes winning. I really am going to have a hard time believing Hurts is going to beat Mahomes. We all know he's not hurt. Hopefully Ric Flair will be there on the sidelines, wooing away, telling Mahomes how to fake the injury. Make sure you put your hands up and go, no, don't hit me, don't hit me. Anyway, so I have a good Super Bowl. Really boring as hell waiting 2 weeks, and now it's like 6:30 at night. That's the one thing I don't understand with college. Why is it Monday night? Who wants to watch a fucking championship game on Monday night? You want to watch it on the weekend when you're not working and you can relax. And off you go. Anyway, I think that's about it. Poker next weekend. So I'm starting to get back into poker. Anyway, I think that's about it. Any other? Phil, Nick, anything? Ryan? Where's Bobby been? Bobby owes us a lot of money now. He missed yesterday, and nobody was on yesterday. I was like, well, maybe I should just come back later or something. Funny. Anyway, I think that's about it. 1:30. Enjoy the game if you can with all these stupid commercials. I don't know what Bobby's been up to. He's been eating pig's balls or something. He does have some really strange eating habits. Kangaroos and vampire bats and pig's ears. I got the General Chow yesterday. That's my Super Bowl dinner. Yes, he's always getting exotic food. I have no desire. I get chicken and steak and burgers, and I'm very happy eating chicken. God. I mean, I get Chinese. I know what I'm eating. I get the same fucking meal. I get General Chow. It's good. I love it. Why fuck around with it? So, yeah, he does eat the exotic, but, he's a ball player. That's what they do. I can see him traveling in going into the different cities, and he's looking for these exotic restaurants, looking for wolfbane and whatever else. But I don't even know where you'd find it. I'm still looking for the buffalo. You guys tell me, what was it, buffalo? That's tasty. So I'll have to see if certain grocery stores have buffalo. That's funny. Or snake. Gator. He said he found a gator restaurant. Well, he's in Tampa, so that would make sense. Not a gator restaurant, a gator grocery store. And I'm like, Bobby, it all tastes like chicken. Just get the chicken. You don't need to get the gator. You don't know what you're eating once it's cooked. You don't know it's gator. You could serve it to me and say it's chicken, and I go, oh yeah, okay. It's all meat. It all tastes the same, I believe. Arturito. Costco got that ground bison on deck. Okay. I don't go to Costco because I don't believe in paying to shop. I pay enough when I at the end of the shop not to walk in, but I'll keep that in mind. I'll see if these other grocery stores have it. But good to know. Thank you. All right, boys, I think that's it. Go Mahomes, go over. Enjoy the game if you can. Turn down Troy Aikman and find some movies that are on when they go to instant replay or when there's an injury and they're gone for 5 minutes. You can watch a movie with all the breaks they give you. It's terrible. All right, 27-24 KC or 31-30 Philly. I'm going with 27-24 KC. We will see what happens. Anyway, have a good day. Enjoy the game. Have fun today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Take care. 38-31 Chiefs. That's fine with me. I don't know if Philly can score that much, but we'll see. Maybe. That doesn't sound too outlandish. I think it'll be close, and I think Mahomes wins it. So we got the over in the Chiefs. All right, everybody. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. I'm going to start looking at the basketball teams to try to grade the teams, but I don't know if I'm going to. It's just, I'll see if I get into basketball, but I can at least grade the teams for you. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Good luck. Enjoy and take care. Be healthy.